If you walk down a busy street in any major city, you will see a wonderful variety of people. Humans come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. Some people have dark skin, while others have light skin. Some have curly hair, and others have straight hair. Our faces are just as different. Noses can be wide or narrow, and eyes can be round or almond-shaped. These differences are a normal and beautiful part of what makes us human. They are not random. They tell a fascinating story about our shared history as a species. For thousands of years, our ancestors moved across the globe, settling in every corner of the planet, from the frozen Arctic to the sunny tropics. These physical differences are not just on the surface. They are written in our genes, the tiny instruction manuals inside every cell of our bodies. Genes are passed down from parents to children, which is why family members often look alike. Over very long periods, small changes in these genes helped groups of people adapt to their specific environments. Think of it like a toolkit. As humans moved into new places with different challenges, they developed new tools, or physical traits, to help them survive and thrive. This process of adaptation is the key to understanding why people from different parts of the world look different from one another. Every feature, from the color of our skin to the shape of our eyes, has a purpose rooted in our ancestors' survival. These are not signs of one group being better or worse than another. Instead, they are historical markers of a long journey. The story of human physical variation is not a story of division, but one of incredible resilience and ingenuity. It shows how adaptable our species is. By studying these differences, we can learn more about where we came from and appreciate the complex journey that led us to become the diverse global family we are today. Understanding this history is important because it helps us see each other with respect and curiosity. When we see someone who looks different from us, we are looking at a living testament to a unique chapter in the human story. Their features reflect a history of adaptation to a particular place on Earth. It is a reminder that we are all part of the same species, Homo sapiens, but our paths have taken us through different landscapes, under different suns, and through different climates, shaping us in beautifully distinct ways. This variety is not a weakness, it is our collective strength. One of the most noticeable facial features that varies across human populations is the shape of the eye. In many people of East Asian and Indigenous American descent, as well as some other groups, there is a common feature known as the epicanthic fold. This is a small fold of skin on the upper eyelid that covers the inner corner of the eye. This fold can make the eye opening appear narrower or more almond-shaped compared to eyes without this fold. It is a completely normal genetic trait, just like having freckles or a certain hair color. It is simply a different anatomical structure of the eyelid. The epicanthic fold is not a health issue or a defect, it is a variation in human anatomy. The presence of this fold does not affect a person's ability to see. Vision quality, whether someone is nearsighted or farsighted, has nothing to do with the shape of their eyelids. People with epicanthic folds see the world just as clearly as people without them. The fold is simply a piece of skin, and its presence is determined by genetics. If a person's parents and ancestors had this trait, it is highly likely they will inherit it too. It is a prominent feature in millions of people around the world. It is also important to understand that the eyeball itself is the same size and shape in all humans, regardless of their ancestry. The differences we see are only in the surrounding structures, like the eyelids and the fatty tissue around the eye socket. In some populations, there's a bit more fatty tissue in the eyelids, which, combined with the epicanthic fold, contributes to the eye's appearance. This is another example of how our external appearance is shaped by small, inherited variations in our anatomy. These differences are purely cosmetic and have no bearing on the function of the eye. This specific trait is a perfect example of how human diversity manifests in our faces. Just as we see a spectrum of skin tones and hair textures, we also see a spectrum of eye shapes. The epicanthic fold is one point on that spectrum. It is not something that makes one group exotic or fundamentally different. Instead, it is a simple, inherited physical characteristic that has become common in certain populations over many generations. Recognizing it as a normal part of human variation helps us move past stereotypes and appreciate the science behind our diverse appearances. Scientists believe that many human physical traits, including the epicanthic fold, developed as adaptations to the environment. One leading theory suggests that this eye shape may have provided an advantage in the cold, windy, and bright environments of Central and East Asia, where it is most common. The narrower eye opening, created by the fold and extra fat deposits, could have helped protect the eyes from harsh, freezing winds and reduce the amount of snow glare from the sun. It would act like a natural pair of sunglasses or goggles, shielding the sensitive eyeball from the elements. This idea of adaptation is not unique to eye shape. We see it all over the human body. For example, skin color is a classic case of adaptation to sunlight. In places near the equator with intense ultraviolet radiation, people developed darker skin with more melanin. This melanin acts as a natural sunblock, protecting the skin from sun damage. In regions far from the equator with less sunlight, people developed lighter skin. This allowed their bodies to produce more vitamin D, which is essential for bone health and requires some UV exposure. Neither skin color is inherently better. Each is an adaptation to a specific level of sun exposure. Similarly, the shape of the nose is thought to be related to climate. In cold, dry climates, a long, narrow nose helps to warm and humidify the air before it reaches the lungs. This protects the delicate lung tissue from damage. In hot, humid climates, a wider nose is more efficient because the air does not need to be warmed or moistened as much. These are not absolute rules, but they show a strong pattern of how our bodies have been finely tuned by the environments our ancestors lived in for thousands of years. Every feature tells a story of survival and adaptation. Therefore, the epicanthic fold should be seen in the same light as these other adaptations. It is likely a relic of our ancestors' successful survival in challenging conditions. Over countless generations, individuals with traits that gave them even a tiny advantage were more likely to survive and have children, passing those useful traits on. The epicanthic fold is likely one such trait. It is a testament to the human body's remarkable ability to change and adapt to meet the demands of life in nearly every environment on Earth, from the harshest cold to the most intense heat. Understanding the scientific reasons behind our physical differences helps us debunk harmful myths and stereotypes. Features like the epicanthic fold are not strange or inferior. They are markers of a successful evolutionary journey. They are a part of the rich tapestry of human diversity. When we look at the variety of faces around the world, we are seeing the results of millions of years of history, migration, and adaptation. Every eye shape, skin tone, and hair texture is a branch on the same human family tree. These differences do not separate us in any meaningful way. It is crucial to stress that these variations are normal and natural. There is no default or standard human. The idea that one type of feature is better than another is a social construction, not a scientific reality. In the grand scheme of biology, we are all incredibly similar. The genetic differences between any two humans are minuscule. The traits that we see on the surface are just a tiny fraction of our total genetic makeup. Our shared biology and our shared humanity are far more significant than the superficial differences that we can see with our eyes. By learning about why we look different, we can cultivate a deeper respect for all people. We can move beyond simple curiosity and toward a genuine appreciation for the stories our bodies tell. The diversity of human appearance is a resource, a source of strength, and a thing of beauty. It reflects our species' incredible journey and our ability to make a home in every corner of this planet. Celebrating this diversity means celebrating the resilience and adaptability that define us all as humans. It means recognizing that every person's heritage is valuable and contributes to the richness of our global community. In conclusion, our differences are not something to be feared or judged. They are something to be understood and celebrated. From the epicanthic folds common in East Asia to the wide range of skin colors found across the globe, each trait has a story rooted in science, history, and survival. As we continue to live in an increasingly interconnected world, let us embrace our diversity as a fundamental part of who we are. Let us look at one another not as strangers, but as members of a single, wonderfully varied family, each with a unique and valuable story to tell.